Hi, love bunnies. I hope you guys are all doing so well. Welcome back to the Beauty House. In today's episode, as you can tell by the title, we are going to be going over a few looks from the iHeart Radio red carpet that happened, I want to say earlier this week. If you would like to see what looks I liked, any looks that I would tweak, or if I would tweak any at all, be sure to continue and keep on watching. Now, I did not know that there was a iHeartRadio red carpet. I think I was Googling something or scrolling on something and I saw, and I said, let me double check to see if they have any makeup looks that I can go over and find. And thank God there were some makeup looks that I was able to find. So I do have a bit of an opinion, honey bunnies. First up, we are gonna talk about Justine Skye. Now, if I'm not mistaken, she is a singer and excuse me, she is a singer and also an actress, if I am not mistaken. Now, I don't like this look at all. Nothing about it. And that's possibly rare. I want to say there's at least something I like about a look thus far. From the other red carpets I've done thus far, there was none that I didn't not like 100%. And this is one of them that is a first for me. She is a very pretty young woman, and nothing about this makeup did her any justice. First things first, it's not about the hair, but hair also matters and hair also plays a role in a look. This hair color to me washes her out in the worst way possible. If her hair was more of a chestnut brown or a nice warm auburn, that would have made her skin tone and her complexion pop even more. Now, makeup wise, the brows, I don't like the color. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's supposed to be blonde or brown. I'm not a fan of it at all. The eyeshadow, from what I can see, it looks as though it's like a silver, like a really dark silver. It looks as though it's shimmery. I would have done a nice deep gold on her because that's going to pop against her skin tone and complement her beautifully. The lashes, surprisingly, is decent. They're not bad at all, but I would have gone with something more like a natural wispy or natural fluffy lash just to open up the eyes just a bit. I think the major thing that I don't like about this look is the blush. This color is not suiting her at all. If she went with a nice warm peach shade or a nice dusty rose or a nice muted mauve, any of those tones would have pulled out and pretty much complemented her skin tone. The lips, don't like anything about the lips at all. I would have actually kept it neutral because if I would have gone golden on the eyes, I would have kept the lips neutral. And I would have gone with a color like this gloss shade from Juvia's Place. I think this would be pretty much the perfect nude for her to tie the look all together. So as a whole, and even as I break it down, I'm not a fan of this look at all, and I would change every single thing about it 100%. And it kind of sucks because, like I said, she's actually a very pretty young woman. So it sucks that this makeup did not do her any justice at all. Now, we are going to move over to Taylor Swift. Now, I try not to be biased as I do these reviews because I am not necessarily a fan of each and every single person that I do talk about. But it just so happened that when I saw her on the red carpet, I said, you know what? I like her look because I like it for her, right? If we look at it closely, she has a shimmer on the lid, and it is a green shade. And I do like that shade of green. It looks more like a nice, like a soft emerald green, and I think it complements her blue eyes beautifully because it looks as though there's a tiny bit of green in her eyes as well. So the lid color matching her eyes, it just complements it beautifully. It really emphasizes and pulls out the blue in her eyes even more. The lashes, it looks as though, it looks like it's a mix of a little bit of mascara and a little bit of clusters looking at the band. But if she would have went with just a nice thick band and it be more so cat eye, just to lift the ends a little bit more, like a cute little come hither kinds of a look, I think it would have complemented it even more. But the choice that they went with isn't bad. I like that the color at the bottom that swooped underneath is a different shade of green than the lid color that I can see. It looks a little bit darker, but either way, still playing around with those shades of greens, it still look very nice against, again, her blue eyes. The face, I like the complexion. When I say complexion, that's just another way of me saying the foundation of pretty much what was done on the face, like the face makeup, if I use that word in and out. But the face, I like that they kept it natural. 9 times out of 10, any photos that I did see of her on a red carpet ever, she always has just a fresh face. She doesn't do too much contour, not too much blush. That look suits her. So it looks very clean. I can see just a dash of blush just at the apples of the cheeks. It doesn't look as though it's brought up any higher on the cheekbone, and that's perfectly fine. The lip color, I'm not mad at it, but I would have went just a shade lighter, more on the soft pink, because I think it would have complemented her as well. But I'm not mad at it because this coral shade on the lip does match the green that she is wearing, as well as the green in her eyeshadow. So it does tie the look together beautifully. But like I said, another option would have been just a soft pink. But all in all, I do like this look on her. Next up, we have Kehlani. She's a singer, and her look, I would say, it's nice. Because sometimes when I'm looking up looks to do my Rework Wednesdays, I'm pretty much Googling anything and just going down a rabbit hole of what I like. And she was one person. I might do a rework from a look that she did that I did like. I'm just trying to see when I'm going to do that. But 9 times out of 10, her looks are usually similar to this look. And it suits her, and I do like that. She never has a look that I've seen thus far that didn't suit her. So whoever her makeup artist is, they know how to play along with the shape of her brow, because it's not the traditional arch. It comes out a little bit more like arch, but a little bit more straight, tailed, straighter towards the tail end of the brow. She does have a nice crease definition, and her artist knows how to play very well with her eye shape, and I do like that. So I like that they kept the eyes, that shade in the crease color looks like a warm brown to me, and then on the lid looks as though it is a nice soft, not necessarily white, but like an off-white kind of shade. I do like the lashes that they use. It look as though it's pretty much starting from the middle and it wings out more towards the end. I like that because that gives the eye that elongated look as well as lifted at the very end, kind of like a cat eye. I like that there is not too much happening on the bottom line. It's just that crease color, that brown, looks as though it's swept underneath the lash line, and it looks really pretty. I like that they brought the lid color in towards the tear duct area because it's a light color. It also opens up the eyes a bit more because it's in that waterline. The face makeup overall, I like how it is applied. Now, like in my last video, I think I spoke very briefly about lighting. In this photo, I'm not able to see the finish of what I guess you could say how it comes up on camera. But based off of this photo, I would say that the foundation was blended out evenly and smoothly enough. And I say that because if it didn't match and if it wasn't set the right way, you would have saw a cast pretty much on the face, and that didn't happen in this photo. So again, like I said, based off of this one, it is blended out nicely. I do like the blush. It complements the look and it ties the look together because it's still on that warm shade. It looks possibly like a peachy shade, which complements that shade of brown in the crease color. The lip, I actually do like the lip. I wouldn't change anything about it because, again, just as the blush, it is also tying in with that shade of brown in the lid. So all in all, I do like this look. It's very soft and very feminine, especially for her because she has so much tattoos. Sometimes tattoos could take away from the makeup, or sometimes it could clash, if that makes sense. But like I said, all in all, I do like this look, and she does wear this look a decent amount of times, and it definitely suits her. Now, like I said, when it comes to this photo, lighting plays a part. I think, I don't recall if I found a photo where it was a different kind of lighting to see it more. I'm not recalling thus far, but I am gonna do a video about lighting. Now, not the setup or the science behind it, but in order to achieve flawless makeup, lighting does matter, and different angles matter, and how cameras capture makeup truly matters, right? Because in great lighting, any and every makeup looks really good. But we also have to focus on makeup if it looks good without all the lights, right? So I will talk to you guys about that in another video, so make sure you stay tuned for that video. Next up, we have Nicole Scherzinger. And she was from the Pussycat Dolls. And in this photo, again, back to lighting, it was another photo I was going to use, but you guys wouldn't have been able to see the colors I'm describing it to you. So I went with this one. I do like the colors on her because I think her whole outfit was black, and I think it was like black gloves or whatever it was. She was wearing black, which is a very dark color. So I like that the makeup was lighter. I like the contrast between the dark hair as well as the dark that she was wearing. It looks as though she is wearing like a soft peachy, like not a peach, a soft pink, like a blush pink in her crease, and I do like that. Looking at the placement, the way that they placed the crease color opened up the eye and gave the lid, not the lid, it gave this crease area a little bit more, how do I say? Because they placed it in such a way, it opened up the eye a bit more from how her eyes actually are. Now, I don't know how to explain it more in depth for you guys, but as an artist, like I said, I'm able to see the placement, and it was not just solely in her natural crease. They angled it in a way where it's beyond the crease, which again, like I said, opened up the eye a bit more. I do like, it looks as though a softer lid shade, possibly a softer, babier pink of a shade. I do like that they smoked out, from what my eyes is picking up, they smoked out the bottom with a brown, and I do like that because brown and pink do play beautifully together. So I like that they kept a soft pink, so they smoked it out just a tiny bit. Like I said, it looks like a brown. I do like the lashes. I wouldn't change it at all because it makes her eyes pop even more. The brows, I like the brows because they didn't do too much. They didn't fill in the front area, where sometimes we do that when we do fill our brows, but they kept it 100% natural to the shape that she has. So I like that. I wouldn't change anything. The face looks absolutely flawless. It looks very dewy in this photo. I like the shade used on the apples of the cheeks as well as the lip color. It looks as though it's a lip liner, and possibly a lip gloss. This doesn't look as though it's a lipstick. It looks as though the lip gloss itself probably had a really good pigmentation, and this lip color ties the look all together because it complements the pink in the eyes but also the warmness of the brown under the lash line. So I think this lip color was a beautiful choice to go with, and overall I do like this look. And love bugs, last but not least, this was my favorite look. It is the beautiful Miley Cyrus. Now, I like this look because it suits her so beautifully, right? Miley Cyrus has this edge about her, like this rocker kind of vibe. And I do like that style. I think it suits her in general as a whole. The face, I love it. Absolutely flawless. It looks as though it has a dew to it looking at the photo. So I would say it's more so of a satin finish, and I like that. I do like she is bronzed just a little bit because I can see it in the forehead area and in the cheeks. So the shade that they used definitely complemented her beautifully. I love the fact that the blush color is very, very subtle and it complements the lip color beautifully. I like the shadows chosen. She looks to me as though she is a cool tone. And I love when makeup artists actually utilize shades that complements a person's undertone. That's what makes it pop even more, and it makes it look even more complete. I like that they utilized a lighter shade in the front. Is a gradation to the shade that's in the middle heading towards the end. So I would say that's more so of a gray shade, and then the front is more of a silver, so pretty much a lighter version of it. So it looks beautiful from the inside out. So that allowed for the eyes to be even more open and add dimension, right? So when you play around with light colors and dark colors like that, is going to give the effect in which we're looking for. So it's going to give an opened effect in the front area, but also keep it sultry and sexy towards the end. So it still complements her eye shape beautifully. I like that the eyebrows is naturally filled in. It doesn't look as though that they did too much overfilling, just brush it up and kept it as natural as possible. I like that. Honestly, it looks as though the liner is not black, because if it was black, it would have added a depth to her eyes. It looks as though it's more on a dark brown, which, if you think about it, brown and black you probably think isn't too off from each other, but I promise you, if you see a brown liner against a black liner, it does make a difference. So I would say that this looks more of a brown shade, or this could be a dark berry shade. Like I said, it's picking up more of a brown to me, and that just complemented and played well with the cool tone on the eyes, so it still kept it sexy. I do like the lip color. I think the soft pink ties it in nicely. I would not have chosen any other shade. The only tiny thing, I wouldn't have went with that lip liner shade. Now, it doesn't look bad, but I would have filled in the whole lip with that brown shade and then topped it with that pink that's utilized all over the lip. I think that would have been a better ombre to me, because I don't like that I can see the shape of the lip with that brown and it didn't blend smoothly with the color chosen for the lip as a whole. But other than that, like I said, overall, it looks beautiful to me. And then the way her hair is placed, it just adds that rocker edge that she is pretty much known for. So as I said, this was my absolute favorite look on her. It looks absolutely beautiful, and it complemented her beautifully. Her eyes, her lip, her face structure. All in all, I liked this look very much. Now, you guys know these videos are not the longest videos. It's pretty much, again, as per usual, just giving my thought process on what I like, what I would tweak, if I would tweak anything at all. And like I said, I always enjoy doing these videos for you guys. just so you guys could just see my thought process, how I view makeup, what determines if I like something, don't like something, and again, what I would tweak as a makeup artist. I thank you guys so much for taking a part of your day and choosing to share it with little old me. I greatly appreciate it. I thank you guys so much. Make sure, one, you go back and watch the other makeup reviews that I've done if you have not done so thus far. I will have it in the description below. After that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a friend. Thank you guys so much. And as I always say, the true foundation of beauty starts from within. Makeup is just the cherry on top. I love you guys so much. Until next time. Mwah.